Coco Gauff and Eala were just on the same court at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. And listen to this. Their practice footage has fans already buzzing about a possible fourth-round collision. These former doubles teammates turned maybe rivals are sitting on the same side of the draw, which means, hold up, one of them could be the reason the other goes home. That practice run showed a lot more than warm-ups because it gave a clear look at how locked in both players are heading into this tournament. Now here's the real question. If Coco Gauff and Eala actually clash in the fourth round of the Australian Open, who are you taking and why? Drop your predictions in the comments because this one could get really interesting. Coco Gauff and Eala were just spotted practicing together on center court at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne Park, and hold up, that alone turned heads. The clip, posted by Eala's father, Michael, sent tennis fans into a full spiral over what this could signal for the Australian Open. These aren't two random players who just happen to grab court time at the same moment. They're former doubles partners who know each other's games inside and out, which changes everything. Both are insanely talented young stars, and listen to this, they're widely seen as the future of women's tennis. And here's the part that really matters. They're on the same side of the draw, meaning a fourth-round showdown is very much on the table. Let's break down why this practice session actually matters and what it tells us about both players heading into the first Grand Slam of 2026, because this isn't random. First, the backstory, and trust me, it adds context. Eala and Gauff linked up for doubles at the Italian Open last year, and that wasn't a coincidence. And no, listen to this, they weren't there just to mess around.
Hi everybody, it's Alex and Coco here. Thank you so much for all the support that you've been giving us this week, and hopefully in our next match a lot of you will come out and watch.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the support. Super happy to be playing with Alex, and hope you guys can keep supporting us. And we don't like Team Coachella, so pick a new name.
Okay, so another name maybe. Another
Yeah.
name. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
They put together a real run, pushing all the way to the quarterfinals before falling to the reigning champs Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini. And hold up, it was no walk in the park. The match was tight all the way through, with the scoreline reading 5-7, 6-3, 7-10, which tells you exactly how close that battle really was. That quarterfinal loss came against serious firepower, and hold up, this was no easy matchup. Errani sits at number 3 in the world in doubles, while Paolini is ranked 7th in singles. Girl, these aren't players you just roll past. The fact that Eala and Gauff pushed them all the way to a match tiebreak in the third set, that right there shows they had real chemistry on the court. Together, doubles partnerships reveal so much about how players mesh and complement each other. You pick up on your partner's tendencies, their shot patterns, how they handle pressure, and exactly where they like to position themselves on the court. Gauff and Eala spent that Italian Open week analyzing each other's games in intense, intimate detail. Now fast forward to the Australian Open. Eala is ranked 49 in the world, a career high and a huge milestone for someone from the Philippines, where tennis infrastructure can't touch the powerhouse nations. Gauff, number 3 in the world, two-time Grand Slam champion, WTA finals winner, and one of the top favorites to take the title in Melbourne. And here's the kicker. They're both in the upper half of the 128-player draw. Here's where it gets really interesting. If both players navigate their early round matches, which is far from guaranteed but totally possible, they would collide in the 4th round. That's when former doubles partners turn into rivals and friendship takes a back seat to competition. Everything they learned about each other during that Italian Open week suddenly becomes tactical ammunition. That practice session at Rod Laver Arena, it takes on a whole new meaning in this context. They weren't just hitting casually to stay loose. They were testing patterns, figuring out what works and exposing what doesn't as they geared up for the tournament. And make no mistake, both were scouting. Gauff was analyzing how Eala's game has evolved since their last meeting, while Eala was getting a first-hand look at the level she needs to hit to compete with the absolute best in the world. Let's break down Eala's path to a potential showdown with Gauff, because trust me, it's far from easy. It's not going to be easy. Her first-round opponent is Alicia Parks, ranked 100 in the world. That ranking might make her seem like an easy matchup, but hold up, there's a terrifying detail that should give Eala's team serious pause. Parks actually shares the record for the fastest serve in women's tennis history with Venus Williams at 129 miles per hour. That's not a typo. Parks can absolutely bomb serves at speeds that would make most male players jealous. If she's serving well, she's insanely dangerous, racking up free points that Eala simply can't return. Eala will need to fire back with pinpoint returns, stay aggressive on second serves, and never let Parks dictate play with that massive weapon. It's a tough first-round draw for someone hoping to make a deep run. If Eala gets past Parks, and that's a genuine if, not a given, her second-round opponent would be either Karolina Muchova, ranked 19, or Jacqueline Christian, ranked 37. Muchova reached the French Open final in 2023 and is incredibly talented when healthy. Christian is a solid pro who's beaten top players before. Either matchup would be a serious test. This isn't a soft path where Eala can cruise into the 4th round. She'll need to fight for every point, battle through adversity, and play some of the best tennis of her career just to reach a potential clash with Gauff. Now, let's check out Gauff's path, which looks way easier on paper. Her first-round opponent is Kamila Rakimova of Uzbekistan, ranked 91 in the world. Gauff should handle that comfortably. She's facing someone nearly 90 spots below her, and with her experience, power, and consistency, she can navigate that match without breaking a sweat. Analysts project Gauff cruising into the 4th round and beyond, and honestly, that seems accurate. She's a top 3 player facing opponents outside the top 50 in the early rounds. Unless she completely unravels, or someone plays the match of their life, she's expected to advance with ease. But here's where it gets really interesting from a strategic angle. Gauff knows she could face Eala in the 4th round. She's practiced with her recently, seen her current form up close, and she's smart enough to recognize that Eala is dangerous. Not because Eala is better, she isn't, but because Eala has nothing to lose and everything to gain. When a lower-ranked player faces a top seed, the pressure flips completely. Gauff is expected to win. If she loses, it's a massive upset and a disappointing early exit for a favorite. If Eala loses, nobody's shocked. Gauff is ranked 46 spots higher and has multiple Grand Slams under her belt. That psychological dynamic can trip up favorites. They start playing tight, overthinking, and suddenly a match they should dominate becomes competitive. Eala, meanwhile, gets to play totally free. She's the underdog. She can go for huge shots with no fear and take risks because conservative play probably won't beat someone like Gauff anyway. Plus, having played doubles with Gauff gives her an extra edge. She knows Gauff's patterns and tendencies better than most opponents. The practice session also tells us a lot about their mindsets heading into the tournament. That confident enough to practice with a potential opponent, not afraid of giving away secrets or showing too much. They trust their preparation and believe they can execute no matter what the other player knows. That's champion-level thinking. Insecure players avoid practicing with potential opponents. They fear giving away advantages. Confident players embrace it because they know their game is strong enough to win even if scouted extensively. Gauff carries that champion's confidence for obvious reasons. She's already won Grand Slams and proven she can handle the big stages. Eala is building that confidence as she breaks into the top 50 and starts competing regularly against elite players. The fact that Eala's father, Michael, shared the practice video publicly is also fascinating. He's not hiding her daughter's preparation or worried about opponents studying the footage. He's proud of how far she's come and confident she can compete with anyone. And honestly, he should be proud. Eala has achieved something historic for Filipino tennis. She's the highest-ranked Filipino player in history, competing in Grand Slam main draws as a legitimate contender, not just happy to be there. She's training at the Rafael Nadal Academy, rubbing shoulders with the sports elite, and that practice session with Gauff shows just how far Eala has come. 2 years ago, practicing with a top 3 player would have been a dream. Now, it's just part of her normal prep because she belongs at this level. But let's get real about the potential matchup. Gauff is the heavy favorite, and for good reason. She's more experienced at the Grand Slam level, battle-tested under pressure, physically stronger, more consistent, with a better serve and return game. On paper, Gauff should win comfortably, but tennis isn't played on paper. Upsets happen. Lower-ranked players catch fire and play the match of their lives. Favorites have off days or crumble under unexpected pressure. If Eala reaches the 4th round and faces Gauff, she'll need everything to go right. She must serve well, return aggressively, dictate play with her forehand, and avoid long baseline exchanges where Gauff's consistency will wear her down. She'll also need Gauff to have an off day, not a terrible day, just one where she's not at 100%. If Gauff is at full form, Eala probably loses. But if Gauff is at 80% and Eala is firing on all cylinders, things get interesting. Another factor, the crowd. Australian Open crowds love an underdog, and Eala's story, a young Filipino making history, is exactly the kind of narrative that gets neutral fans on her side. Playing in front of a supportive crowd could lift her level and make Gauff a bit uncomfortable. Not enough to guarantee a win, but definitely an advantage Eala can use. Regardless of whether they meet in the 4th round, the practice session serves a purpose for both. Gauff gets high-quality hitting against a creative, talented opponent. Eala gains priceless experience competing at the pace and intensity of a top 3 player. These practice sessions are where adjustments are made, tactics are tested, and confidence is built before the tournament starts. The fact that they're comfortable practicing together despite being potential opponents shows maturity and professionalism from both. The video itself shows them hitting cleanly, moving well, and looking sharp. No signs of injuries or physical issues. Great news for fans who want to see both at their best. Eala arriving at the Australian Open and practicing at Rod Laver Arena is a massive moment for Filipino tennis. She didn't sneak in through qualifying. She earned direct entry into the main draw based on the ranking. Practicing on the same center court where champions are crowned normalizes success. Practicing with elite players is now routine for Eala, and that's exactly what Filipino tennis needs. The more she succeeds, the more young Filipino players will believe they can follow her path. The potential 4th round showdown between Gauff and Eala would be must-watch television. Former doubles partners turned rivals, established champion versus rising star, American favorite versus Filipino pride. All the narrative elements are there for an epic match. But first, both players have to survive their paths, and that's far from guaranteed. Tennis is unpredictable. Upsets happen in the 1st round, injuries occur, players have off days, and the draw is brutal in different ways for both. For now, the practice session is preparation loaded with strategy, subtext, and the promise of an incredible future matchup. So there you have it. Coco Gauff and Eala practiced together knowing they could meet in the 4th round, and both looked sharp heading into the Australian Open. If you want coverage of this potential clash and all the latest tennis drama, smash that like button and subscribe. Who's your pick if they meet? Gauff's experience or Eala's fearless underdog mentality?